This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about. Julius Randle. He's out versus the Washington Wizards tomorrow night. And I'll be at the game, ladies and gentlemen. But what's that mean for the New York Knicks? I'm going to tell you what. It's not a lot about Julius Randle. You know what I mean? According to Tibbs, it's all good stuff. That's to the reason why Julius Randle was out. And I think a lot of you can probably guess why, given the fact that his wife is pregnant. And according to one of the reporters who asked the question to Tibbs, she said she's very pregnant. But hey, you know, good luck, man. Best wishes to Julius Randle and his family. But let's talk about it a little bit. I got Steph with me, and we're going to go ahead and break some things down, ladies and gentlemen. Steph, how you feeling?
I'm good, Sam. I'm good. Thanks for having me again. Shout out to you, the chat. Looking forward to this show. Looking forward to the season.
Yeah, definitely. Julius Randle is going to be out versus the Wizards. As a matter of fact, I don't think he practiced today, to tell you the truth, as far as according to Tom Thibodeau. You know, and Tom Thibodeau was asked by one of the reporters, what does it mean for team chemistry with Julius Randle being out? Or does it mean anything for team chemistry? You know, and this is what Tom Thibodeau had to say. And then I want to come back and get your thoughts on it.
He's here so much. He was here all summer. He was here all fall. He's around his teammates. He spends a ton of time around them. And that's what I love about him. He is the ultimate gym rat. And so these guys, even though they haven't played together yet in games, they've played together in the fall a lot. So they've gained chemistry from that. And it'll progress as we go. But the thing about him, it's his leadership. It's the actions that he demonstrates daily. And so if someone needs time, we give him time. So he's been terrific, and a day or two off is probably good for him, to be honest with you, at this stage.
All right, let me stop it right there. A day or two off is probably good for him at this stage, given so much, given that he's in the gym so much. But Steph, what do you think about it? I mean, not about Julius Randle. You know, I'm pretty sure he's healthy, and hopefully his family and everything is healthy. But as far as what Tom Thibodeau might do with the rotation.
Right. Well, I agree with Tibbs that I don't think it's gonna throw the chemistry off. Right. I think these guys have been in the gym for a very long time, practicing with each other before preseason started. They looked pretty good in preseason. So I think him being away for a game or two or a day or two is not going to throw off that chemistry at all. It gives us an opportunity, though, to see more of Obi, to see, he's been working on a lot of things. We saw a little bit of it in game one. He'll get extended time, so he'll get an opportunity to see how much of what he's worked on translates into the game. And then we'll have an opportunity to see more of Knox, and I'm pretty excited about that. He looked okay. He looked pretty good, actually, in his short amount of time that he played. So, actually, I'm looking forward to seeing both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. Do you think, I know last year, there was one game where Julius Randle was out, and it was Taj Gibson, I think, that was elevated to the starting lineup, and not Obi. Obviously, Obi, is not the Obi that we're seeing now. It was a different Obi then. He was a rookie. He was learning the game, probably a little bit, deer in the headlights type of thing. Do you think it's 100% that, at least for the preseason, that Obi moves into the starting lineup?
Sam, that's a very good point. I hadn't even thought about that. Well, if Noel is Noel still out? Do we know?
He may still be out for tomorrow's game. I think
If
Tibbs did mention Noel a little bit and said he did do some things, but it didn't sound to me like he was going to be playing
Right,
tomorrow.
right. I mean, I think if Noel is out, then Taj will probably again start at 5, and then that'll open up the space for Noel. Um, but you you bring up a good point, Sam. If Noel is playing, Tibbs, this guy, he wants to again hit the ground running. He loves Taj, and Taj does play well in the time that he gets. So it's possible, but Taj played most of his minutes last year at the 5.
Right.
So I think if Noel is back, I think there's a pretty good chance that Obi will start. I think he's better. I think last year Tibbs was like, no, I can't give you extended minutes in Randall's absence. But now he's improved some. I think he'll get the start.
Yeah, I think he will as well. Thibodeau did speak a little bit about what the rotation might look like, and this is what he said.
Get a look at Obi. We'll get some more minutes. Kevin will play more. So we'll get a look at that. So it's good. We have good quality depth, and I want to get a look at some of these guys.
And
Yep.
he didn't say who was going to start.
Right.
He just said they got some depth. He'll get a chance to get a look at these guys.
Right.
Typical Tom Thibodeau stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not going to be committal to anything besides the fact that the guys are going to go out there and work hard, and he's going to demand that they work hard. That's about it. But Kevin Knox,
Yeah.
he's going to get a chance now, though. He's going to get a chance. This is his spot. This is his time right here to prove that he belongs on the court getting playing time. I mean, do you think he can go out and do it?
This is my thing, Sam. I think that I'm not going to say coaches have favorites, but I will say that coaches will know who's their type of player. And I'm just wondering at this point, has Tibbs already made the decision that Knox is just not my type of player? And, it doesn't really matter what he does.
Right.
If that's the case, then it doesn't even matter what he does.
That's true.
But if there is a chance that he can change Tibbs' mind, this would be the time. Like if I'm Knox, I'm going to bed early, making sure I'm hydrated. This is my moment to ball out, and I don't want any distractions. If there's a sliver of chance that I can change the coach's mind, I could get in that rotation, or I could be the next one up. This is my time.
Right.
And he needs to come out like on fire, basically.
Yeah, he needs to
tomorrow.
come out. If he can come out and like give you just this energy on the floor, I think. And I don't know if it's possible for Knox because he just doesn't seem to play with that reckless abandon. That's not his style. So I don't know if you can see him come out and play with that kind of energy. And maybe that's the kind of energy that Tom Thibodeau's looking for. I just don't think Knox can do it.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if he could just make positive plays. Like, if at the end of the game he was, 8 for 11, he had 6 rebounds. He made some good plays in terms of passing the ball. He hit his defensive rotations. Would that be enough to begin to garner some trust so that if somebody gets hurt, he's the next one up?
Yeah. Now, do you think this also means more times for maybe Quentin Grimes as well? Because Tom Thibodeau with Julius out, with Noel maybe being out, Mitchell Robinson maybe being out. Now it's like, okay, let me play around with the lineups just a little bit and see if I can fit some guys in some places, and experiment a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely possible because, Grimes could play 3, or you can move Burke to 2. so he could play the 3, or Grimes could play the 2, and Burks can stay at the 3. So it is an opportunity for those guys to get more minutes. It's just that they play a different position than Randall, so they would
Right.
have to like move some guys up and over in order to get
Eh,
Grimes in.
Right. Right. Exactly. I picture. I mean, I would be shocked like crazy if he started Kevin Knox at the 4th spot. I would be super
Wow.
duper shocked, right? But I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know with Tibbs. He didn't commit to anything about who might be starting. I expect that it's going to be Obi Toppin moving into the starting lineup, and then Kevin Knox playing the 4 off the bench behind Obi Toppin.
But Sim, to your point, it's possible if he wants to keep that second unit intact.
Right.
Sometimes coaches will do that. Instead of moving someone up, they'll move that person into the starting lineup so that they can keep that second unit intact. So if he's thinking like that, then yeah, Knox can make it to start.
Right. And, it makes sense. When we're talking about Kemba Walker being out, that's something that I'm always saying. Maybe he would just elevate McBride so that you don't have to touch the second unit, because that second unit has chemistry already.
Right.
So if they already have chemistry, why do you want to change it? You know what I mean? And and mess
because
it up.
Because you're changing two things.
Exactly. Right.
If you bring Quick, say, up to the plate of point, that changes the starting unit. Then you bring McBride in, for example, to take Quick spot in the second unit. That changes the second unit.
Right.
Whereas just bringing McBride, like you're saying, right into the first unit keeps that second unit intact.
Right. Now, do you think because of the style of play that Randle has, and there's a big difference between what Randle does and what Obi does, do you think it fits better with Kevin Knox moving into that starting lineup and continuing to let Obi Toppin come off the bench? And then not only are you keeping that second unit intact so that they can continue to get reps together, but you're also kind of showcasing Kevin Knox for other teams out there.
Yeah. And I think Kevin Knox can do more than just shoot from the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can do more. So, obviously he probably won't be able to do it at the level that Randle does it. But I think he can shoot, pass, play off the dribble, some as well. So I'm not sure how much the offense would have to change. And yeah, I think it gives him an opportunity for other teams to see him. But I want to keep Knox. But if he's not gonna get any playing time, you're right, he should go. But
Right.
I'm hoping that he shows out and gives the coaching staff, some sense that, this guy, I don't think he's going to crack the rotation, but that he would be the next guy up and that they would be confident in him.
Right. We will see. We will see. This is the perfect time for it to happen. This is the perfect time, to play around, see who can do what. And you know what? Just say, hey, Knox, this is your time. If you want it, you got to go out and get it. And if he doesn't, go out and get it. I hope that he feels a sense of urgency.
Right.
That's what I hope. I hope he feels a sense of urgency and is like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and lay it out there on the line. I'm going to play this game like this is my game 7.
Right. And I would say, channel a little inner quickly. Sometimes come out the offense a little bit. just show what you can do.
Exactly. And just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. As a matter of fact, and speaking about the bench, because I do want to talk about the importance of this year's bench. And you just spoke about quickly and how he's the kind of player that, he's going to do what he's going to do. He's just going to play his basketball game. As a matter of fact, Derrick Rose spoke about that exact same thing in his interview, I guess today, right? Mm-hmm. The exact same thing, when comparing Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin. he talked about it. So I want to listen to Derrick Rose talk a little bit about the bench, the continuity that they have. You're gonna hear, this is gonna be a little bit long. You're gonna hear him talk about quickly. You're gonna hear him talk about Obi's development, and then we'll get back and we'll talk about the bench and the importance of this bench to this team. We'll look at some numbers as well from the Indiana game. This right here is Derrick Rose, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, with both groups, I feel like we're getting accustomed to one another. The first five, I felt like they did a great job with starting off the game, giving us a baseline of like how we're going to go out there and play on both sides of the ball. And like with the second group, we're kind of different. I feel like we run a little bit more. We played in meaningful games already, playoff games, and I feel like we have an identity with the second group. First group, of course, with a few guys being new to the team, getting used to playing with one another, playing around Julius, and just having that freedom to just be who they are and bring whatever flavor they want to the team, or swag, or whatever it is to the team. The first group is, I feel like, the anchor of the team. And with us, it's kind of easy coming in as the second group. We're just trying to give the game whatever it needs at that period of time. Yeah, when you have a deep team like we have, I believe we have a solid, deep team. The scoring should be spread around like that. Like last game, I don't play pickup in the summer like that, so I was rusty, but I was trying to find ways to facilitate the game. But we were already up 17, 20 points. And I didn't think I need to score like that until the game got kind of close. And like I said, you look at history on good teams like that, you look at the Boston teams. And I mean, that I was able to play against the Miami teams. The spreading was kind of, the scoring was all spread around to everybody. Sometimes Chris Bosh was the leading scorer on them teams with the Miami teams. And when I played against the Boston team, sometimes even Rondo was the leading scorer. So it depended on the night.
If you talk about the second group having already found their identity, having played in meaningful games last year, how important do you think it is that you're all together from the beginning of the season and that you could carry that through? I mean, last year you were in later, and now you guys can all kind of...
Oh, that's huge. I think that's very huge. With everyone just being healthy, I think that's the key. Even though we do have a solid team, health is the biggest key going into the season, playing throughout the season, playing with one another, being on the court with one another, being available. And I think that's going to help us in the journey the way of getting to where we want to get to, that goal, and that's the playoffs again, and achieving more. So I think health is everything with this team.
I know it's still early, but what have you seen different from Obi and Quick in that year two so far?
Confidence. Obi, he has confidence, but when you're dealing with someone like Tibbs, it's kind of hard for a player like Obi if he's like listening to everything like that Tibbs is saying. Quick is kind of crazy, so it's seriously, he's a little bit different than Obi. He has his own style, and you have to be like kind of a rebel in the way of having your own individuality. And Obi, he's coming in as a big under Tibbs. It's gonna be harder. Quick, he really don't care. So I get that. I can relate to him in that way. And I think the difference is they're playing with a lot more confidence. Like I said, you look at Summer League, they were out there being the anchor of the teams in Summer League. The offense is running through them. They were talking more. And that's what we need. You need them to mature. You need them to be able to just play their games freely. And I think it's going to help our team even more.
Specifically with either it's in that first game where the ball on the floor, he makes a move against the rim, and able to finish there.
Exactly.
What has specifically made him better at those sorts of plays over the last year or so?
Picking the spots. I feel like knowing where he wants to go on the floor instead of just going out and just randomly just playing. Um, the mature players in the league, they're gonna set you up to. If I want to get right, I got to set you up left to get right. Um, all them little things that people probably don't look at when they're watching a game. It's all about like setting people up. And even though I may be a left hand or right hand player, or what my move is, you just can't stop it. That's what makes certain guys or all the guys in the league pros. Like you just can't stop certain moves. So him figuring out where he want to get on the floor and just having the comfort to get there and shoot the shot with confidence every time he let it go.
That was Derrick Rose, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the bench, giving you kind of a rundown on the development of Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin. And we're going to get back to the bench real quick, but I did want to just kind of, point out some things he said about Emmanuel Quickley is, his, kind of being a rebel type of a guy. And when you're dealing with someone like Coach Tibbs, who can probably be very overbearing and dominant, has that dominant type of a personality, then you've got to be someone who's not afraid to be a rebel. And Obi is a very nice guy.
Right.
And he doesn't seem like he's that kind of guy. He's going to listen to exactly what the coach says. Kevin Knox seems to be that kind of guy too, which is one of the reasons why someone like Emmanuel Quickley can excel. Not because you say, well, you're not listening to the coach, how can you excel? It's not that. Is that when you have a guy sometimes who's not afraid to do him and he's successful, you earn the coach's respect a little bit quicker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if there's a little bit of a struggle there, you earn the coach's success. But when you listen to Tom Thibodeau talk about Emmanuel Quickley, he loves Emmanuel Quickley. They asked him about him and the big grin broke over his face and, he loves Quickley like crazy. But both of those guys are important pieces to the bench. So my question to both you, Steph, and to you, Nate. Nate the Great with the bad takes is back. Ladies and gentlemen.
Bad takes. What?
Oh,
That's
hey,
the
hey.
word in the chat.
Yeah, that's the word in the chat.
Whatever. They can say what they want to say.
Hey, but listen, you guys hear that no crackle in Nate's
right.
sound?
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about right there. No crackle. That's what I'm talking about. But my question to the both of you is Mobb Deep back? That's what I want to know. Is Mobb Deep, and I'm talking about the bench, is Mobb Deep back for real? Like last year, we got to see some of it when Derrick Rose came to the team, but now we have these guys all season long. They've got some chemistry together. They kind of know the ins and outs of each other, and it's going to grow. Is Mobb Deep back against Indiana? Ladies and gentlemen, they scored 50 points as a bench. As a bench, they scored 50 points. They had 24 rebounds. They had 14 assists as a bench. They shot 41% from the field. They shot a pretty bad 13% from the three-point line. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the Knicks. The Knicks as a whole shot bad from the three-point line versus the Indiana Pacers. As a matter of fact, I think the Knicks shot 29% from the three-point line as a whole. Now, obviously, when you look at the bench, they brought down that shooting big time. I think the bench they were 2 for 13 from the three-point line, and the Knicks overall were 11 for 20-something, or 11 for 37, I believe. So, yeah, that bench definitely brought down that shooting a lot. But my question, Steph, is the bench mob back? 50 points versus the Indiana Pacers, and the Knicks scored 125 points in that game.
Right. Not only are we back, Sim, we better than ever because Quickley and Obi are better. They've been playing all of them, all five of them. Well, I guess Noel was in the starting lineup, but for what he does, I don't think it's going to be, that much of a difference. And if he has to move into the starting lineup and Taj is starting, again, that second unit is back with another year under their belt. Um, they shot 50, they scored 50 points at that low percentage, which means they were putting them up. They
Yeah,
were putting them up,
yeah,
So just like last year, I think they're going to be a big part of what we do. That's why I'm not so concerned about that first unit. I think that first unit is better as well. But whatever they don't do, that second unit will be able to come in and clean it up. And Derrick Rose said they look and see what that first unit needs. So
right,
when they come in, they're focused on that.
right, right, right. They're focused on that, and you know what that tells me too. When you hear Derrick Rose speak, to me, first of all, he's the bona fide captain and leader of that second unit.
No
It
doubt.
sounds to me. But they really are embracing. They don't care about being okay with a second unit. They don't care about that. They're embracing what their role is, and this is our
Right.
job. Let's see what they're lacking right now, and now this is what we've got to bring to the table.
Right.
Because I think a lot of teams or maybe second units, they don't view themselves as having like this role, and it's just like, okay, I'm just going to go in there and play. But it sounds to me like this is an actual unit who is working together and understands what their role is in the game and understands that they are just as important, if not more important, than the starting unit.
Oh,
So there's no shame in being part of the second unit. And when you got a guy like Derrick Rose, who's part of that second unit and accepts being part of that second unit and likes being part of that second unit, it sends a message to everybody else to say, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. You know?
yeah.
Nate, what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Steph, and then we'll come to Nate.
Yeah, just the last thing I wanted to say to piggyback off what you said, look who's in there. You got Rose, who's a leader, and you got Taj. Those were the players who played the best, in my opinion, in the playoffs. They have that experience. Those are leaders. They are going to lead that second unit.
Right. Exactly. Nate, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man? Uh, I need to see more. I mean, last year this bench was not very good in the beginning of the season, and then they got Derrick Rose, and that added juice to that bench unit. And I think the Knicks should be better on the bench because now we have Derrick Rose for a full season. Quickly's taken a step forward. Obi's taken a step forward. Burks should be pretty consistent. So the answer should be yes, but I need to see more. The one thing I will look at this bench very closely is two things. A, rebounding, because you don't have a lot of strong rebounders on that bench compared to what you have in the starting lineup. And two, the defense. Does this bench hold their own on the defensive side when you take out most of your starters? Now, I would imagine that Tibbs is going to more likely at times you're probably going to see either Randle or you're going to see if Randle's on the bench, you're going to see some of the one a starter in the bench in the second unit that can score. Maybe a Fournier, maybe a RJ Barrett, so you don't lose a lot on the scoring side. But defensively, are they going to hold up? That's my question that I have with any bench. Any bench comes in, you want them to hold the lead and hold the score low. So when your starters do come back, they're not having to get the lead back again,
Right.
or they're not behind by a lot.
Right.
So those are going
Yeah.
to be the things I'm going to want to see.
No, I definitely agree there that we
Yeah.
we really got to see, can they hold fort defensively. Um,
But what I will say, Sim, it's about a net positive.
right.
You remember in the beginning of last season, the difference between our defensive rating and our offensive rating was less than 1 point. I
Mhm.
mean, there was no room for error, and this was the beginning of the season. It got better as the season went on. Derrick Rose came, we got a little more room. So even if they're not as good defensively as that first unit, if they're really good offensively, we'll still be able to keep pace, right? I don't think it remains to be seen how good of a defensive team we're going to be overall anyway. But if our net differential is higher, I'm
Right.
happy.
Right.
We may not be as good defensively, but we're more than making up for it with our offense. And I don't think we're going to be a terrible defensive team.
And
Mm-mm.
and one thing I'll also add to that too is they got to get that 3-point percentage up. I mean, you can't shoot 13% from your bench. I mean, you talk about wanting to shoot more threes. Well, a lot of your 3-point shooters are on the bench. Quickly, Rose, Burks, those are dudes. Toppin, those are dudes that shoot the three or want to shoot the three or should shoot the three. So you definitely want to get that number up higher than what it is now, and it
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too concerned about that number right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Derrick Rose last season shot like 40% from three for the Knicks. Emmanuel quickly shot 30 whatever percent. He was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. It's not going to be like that every night from Emmanuel quickly. He is going to have nights where sometimes he's 0 for 4, and then other nights where he's 4 for 4. You know what I mean? That's just the style of player that he is right now. But Alec Burks, he shot well from the 3-point line. I think he was 2 for 3 against the Indiana Pacers. I'm not as worried about it. I think they'll be a decent shooting team, especially if Obi Toppin is able to knock down shots from the 3-point line, which I think he will be able to.
But
go ahead. Yeah,
but
go
you
ahead.
agree with me on the rebounding, right? Like, I mean,
agree.
because Obi Toppin's going to have to be a stronger rebounder. Burks is going to have to be a stronger rebounder. Taj, I don't know if Taj is how much he's really going to play every night, but he's going to have. I think he can rebound at a high level. But you're talking about with Mitch. Let's be real. Mitch is probably not going to play early in the season. He's probably going to come back in a month or two in the season. Who knows? I don't know.
Come on. Yeah, for real. I don't want it to be that long, man.
I'm just being real. Because he's going to have to go through training. He's going to have to go through getting his body back and cardio and all that stuff. So it's going to take time. They're not going to rush him back.
No, they're not.
So more likely, we're looking at Sims is probably going to make that 15th man roster, I would imagine, if I'm willing to bet. And so you're going to have a young guy in Sims that shows potential to rebound at a high level. And then Noel's going to be in the starting lineup. And then you're going to have Taj. So the rebounding is definitely going to have to pick up when they get to the bench, because that's not the strongest point of that bench. The rebounding is in the starting lineup.
Yeah, well,
I don't even think it's the strongest part of our team. I think that's why Tibbs said gang rebounder.
Exactly. We'll see. Obi did a good job rebounding the basketball.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed with Obi. I think Obi can definitely boost that bench up 10 times over.
Yeah,
seriously. And you know what? I like what I'm seeing from Obi in terms of the development of his game. But man, if he was just like a Kenyon Martin, just like a beast on the defensive end, second chance points, that would be great for this team, because we have so many players that can score, so many offensive, but we just need like a dog.
He blocked a shot game. That was a breath of fresh air for Knicks fans. So he's going to commit on the defense. I really do believe, but it's going to be hard for him because it's not his strong point. But he's going to have lapses. But there's going to be times where he's going to make blocks and he's going to get in front of the right person and stop him. So,
he is. And he's going to get steals and things. But that dog mentality, I'm going to be honest, I just don't. He's too nice of a guy.
Yeah, I don't see that.
He's the kind of guy who's going to say everything nicely, politely. Kenyon Martin, he wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Scary, man. That was a scary dude.
Yeah, Marcus Morris, guys like that, they're not going to be nice. I don't know if Obi has it in him.
Obi's bark is worse than his bite.
I don't know. I don't even think Obi has a bark.
Right.
And I'm not saying anything bad about him when I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying I think he's a really nice guy, and I don't think he has that mean streak in him. Right. That maybe you like Steph is saying, you might want or need in that second unit.
That would make us.
But that's why you have Taj. Taj is a dog. He's gonna get in there and he's gonna give whatever he's got.
Can he do it at a high level for an extended period of time because of his age?
Well,
I agree with you.
That first game, man, I was impressed with Taj, man. He almost dunked on that dude. Like, he's 37 years old. Like, dude's like getting up, trying to posterize somebody. I'm like, all right, Taj,
but guess what?
I see you.
But guess what? There's only so many times that he's going to be able to do that. There's only so many times he's going to have that amount of energy this season.
But it's still there, Sim. That's what you want to see in an older player. It's still there. He's still got that bite.
Yeah, I got you. Big shout out to Mr. Durante. Hopefully I said your last name correctly. You said, I just wanted to know, is Sim, Steph, and Nate okay with the results Monday? the Knicks beat you all's favorite Miles Turner in a trade. I mean, it's not about we didn't beat Miles Turner, we beat the Pacers.
Right.
So it's not really about beating Miles Turner.
But let me tell you, when he put that ball on the floor and took it through the key for that finger roll over the
exactly. Exactly. When I seen him do that, I said, you know what? I mean, if we had a center that could do that,
Yeah. And then the retrospect is Sims wouldn't even try to score when he was in the paint. Like Clyde was saying, like, take it up, take a shot, and then just kicked it out. I'm like, typical centers for the Knicks. Like, I don't know what it is. They don't want to shoot. But
let's see. You know, he's a rookie playing in his first professional basketball game, and he's not a guy he wasn't accustomed to being the main scorer in college. You know what I mean? So let's see if when he gets a little bit more comfortable, let him get a little bit more comfortable. And, you know, listen, when he was in the summer league, he pulled a couple of threes, right? Let him get a little bit more comfortable. He'll do what he'll get in there, I think. He just got to get comfortable.
Preseason.
You know, first game. Yeah. You know, give me a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-405-2246. I want to know from you how important this bench is, and if you think is Mobb Deep back? Are we back with this team right here? Because not only do you have a bench unit that's played together last year, but you got some quality guys, Taj Gibson, who's situational, Miles McBride, Quentin Grimes, who both players we expect to be good in the NBA at some point in their careers. We got these guys as the 12th, 13th, 14th man on the bench. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, dude, this is a pretty deep squad.
Sim, I'm going to make a bold statement.
All right.
About the bench.
Okay.
All right. So you heard it today.
Mm-hmm.
Obi Toppin will have a higher scoring percentage than Emmanuel Quickly.
Percentage? I mean, he had a higher scoring percentage.
Higher points.
Higher points per game? I don't. Well, okay. You said it's a bold prediction.
Statement. It's a bold statement, man.
Yeah, you said it's a bold one. I don't think so. I'm telling you, man.
I like what I see from Toppin. I really do.
Yeah.
I just got to get the minutes.
I just don't think he's going to get enough, have the ball in his hands enough and get enough shot attempts.
Right.
You know, to outscore Quickly.
But Quickly's got to score at the clip he's scored last year to average his percentage too. I mean, his points too. So, you know.
Yeah, and he will, because I think there's going to be more shots to go around given the pace. But I don't think, and this is what I was thinking, I don't think where's Obi going to get more minutes? Are you putting him at?
Yeah, that's the problem. The minutes,
right, to score. Like, yeah, I mean, his game has evolved. But you're going to play him at center? Are you going to play him at small forward? Are you going to decrease Randle's minutes? Because Randle's still a better player than Obi, right?
Right.
So I heard somebody say, you know, in order to give Obi 20 minutes, that means you put in Randle's minutes down to 28. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Or here's another thing too, Steph. If right now with the Mitch situation, you know, Noel's going to be the starter. I mean, we're assuming that Jericho is going to be that 15th spot and it's going to be that backup center for the second unit. I'm not going to rely on Taj Gibson, you know, to be that backup center every game we play. I mean, I think he's going to have moments, but I mean, I could see a situation that if Obi, and this is the thing, if Obi's playing well, he's not having a lot of huge lapses, he's making threes, he's making mid-range, he's scoring from the bucket. I could see Tibbs in some aspects playing Obi at the 5 because he's athletic, he can run the floor like a deer, he's not afraid to score. He's shown in the first game that he can actually make some moves on his own. His footwork's better. And, you know, if you look at the aspect of Sims and Taj, what you lose in defense with Obi, you gain in offense with Obi compared to the other two.
Yeah.
So that would be my argument.
We'll see. Tom Thibodeau said that he didn't really like the pairing of Julius Randle and Obi on the floor, not because of mainly because it didn't have a shot block or a rim protector. Let me get you a phone call. Call you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Yo, Sim, what's good? And JJ from Brooklyn. How you doing, bro? How's
JJ,
everything, man?
what's poppin' with you, man? How you feeling? I'm feeling good. How about you?
Feeling good. Good. Nate, Steph, how you guys doing? Everyone's good?
How you doing?
Good. Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to talk about was the whole Obi Randle thing. He's not gonna play one of them at the 5 because, like you were saying, he needs that rim protection. So I think there's a way better chance of one of them actually playing the 3 and then going big. So then you could still have, Mitch or Noel at the 5 because, rim protection for Tibbs' defense, that's the key. So I'd be shocked if he ever really did that at all, just playing small and having Randall, Obi at the 5. Like Nate was saying, yeah, we would definitely be better offensively, but Tibbs needs that rim protection, and, you're not going to have that at all with Randall and Obi. So, I mean, not that I think it's ideal either to have either of them at the 3. I don't think defensively that works either. So it's kind of a tough situation for Obi.
It is.
I don't think it's tough. It's unfortunate, but I don't see that huge minutes increase unless you're going to decrease Randall's minutes a little and then maybe try one of them at the 3. So if you can get Obi 20 to 23 minutes, I think he could put up some solid numbers for you, but it's just a fit. It's just not ideal, either of them at the 3 or the 5. It's just a shame because there's a lot of talent there and you could see it. But with Randall here and Tibbs as the coach, it's just an unfortunate fit, man. You know what I mean?
It is.
I actually, to your question though, Sim, I think Mobb Deep is here, man. Just the depth is it's incredible, man. Just our backups, our benches could almost be like a starting 5. Just the scoring punch, all the zones we saw last year, we're not going to see much of that we have so much shooting now. The only weakness offensively is that center, whether Mitch, Noel, Sims, but everyone else, they're going to be spacing the 4.
Right.
So I just wanted to ask you guys, my main concern for this team is definitely the perimeter defense. Mm-hmm. As much as I love getting Kemba and Fournier, and as much as they're going to help us offensively, I'm not here to say that Payne and Bullock were all-world lockdown defenders. But when you compare them to Kemba and Fournier, I think you're definitely losing a bit defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So that's because if you look at the roster, how many guys, especially on the perimeter, are you going to say are very good defenders? Our point guards, none of them are. I think our rookie McBride is probably the best defender for talking at the point guard position. And even at the wing, RJ, he's going to have to, I think he's been an okay defender, solid so far throughout his career, but I think he's going to have to take it up to a new level now. With no Bullock, he's going to have to guard the Beals and the Paul Georges and, all these elite scorers. Are you guys concerned at all about the perimeter defense? Am I kind of overthinking it, or what do you guys think?
I am concerned about it. I'm very concerned about it.
Right.
And this is part of the reason why Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson is so important.
Exactly.
You need to have
That's
those
why I don't see the Obi Randle thing, because he didn't do that last year when we actually had good perimeter defense. Now taking a step back defensively on the perimeter, I don't see any way that I don't think they're really going to be together on the floor at the same time, Obi and Randle. But, I figured you would say you were concerned too.
Yeah, definitely concerned about it. Happy that we have 2 guys that can block shots back there, and it just shows you the importance of both of those guys this season.
Exactly.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, JJ, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for the call.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good one, all right?
Thank you. You too. Big shout out to Gene Mark. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Sim, are we buying Knicks Nets sweet tickets? You know what? Something we're going to try. We're going to try to do. And since Kyrie's probably not going to be there, those tickets might even be cheaper. We'll see what's going on. Let me get to another phone call here. Calling you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Hey, Sim, how's it going? This is Reg out the BX.
Reg,
Steph, how y'all doing on the panel?
Pretty good. How you doing?
How are you?
Feeling?
Good. Just listening to what you guys talking about. Steph, you hit it right on the head with the Kenyon Martin. Man, I can't tell you how badly I'm looking for a Kenyon Martin, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason person on this Knicks squad.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think that's like a mandatory thing that we have to have that's going to elevate our team to a whole nother level.
Right.
We got a lot of players on our team that's skillful, they say the right thing. They well cut, they well groomed. I think the person who can actually come in here and be our Kenyon Martin that can just turn the whole thing around is Mitchell Robinson.
Wow.
I just think
so.
I just think that if Mitch comes back healthy, he got bigger. If he just on some, you know what? Just throw it up to me. I don't care about the offense. I'm gonna go hard defense. I'm gonna start to lay boys out when they come down the lane. Because Mitch don't have a reputation of being soft. He don't have he's not looked at as being a grimy guy either on the court. He's kind of looked at as I don't know what this guy is all about right here.
Right.
Even from day one when he first came in the league, he was like kind of soft spoken. He was you couldn't really understand him. He's coming out from down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now if he comes back with a twitch in his eye, like, oh, Mitch look like he's getting a check now. And he starts laying people out as they coming down the lane. He's starting to dunk on people, start screaming and yelling. He's starting to throw people shots out into the fourth row. Because he can do all of that. This is stuff that he can definitely do. I'm not over-exaggerating him to do any other stuff. This is stuff we've seen him do.
Right.
But now he puts some extra attitude behind it. Because you see he's starting to grow. He's starting to get that maturity. He's starting to become a little like a man in his body now. He's not a little boy anymore. If he starts to act like that when he gets back with that confidence, I don't care if Mitch give us 10 and 12. But if he play with that confidence, he's throwing it like he did when he catch dunks, he's way over the rim. He's throwing it down and he's in people's face like just making them look silly. I promise you, the whole attitude of the Knicks is going to go to a whole nother level. And I think I see him as being the only person who could do that. OB, like you said, son, he's too clean cut. Man, he don't know. OB probably bringing cookies to the gym. Who knows what OB got going on? But Sims looked like he got a little offness to him too. You don't never see Sims smile. He just always strong faced with everything he do. He could go left if he want to go left.
Right.
But he don't look like he's that type of player. He look like an I'll be sure type of dude. So you don't know really going to get. You don't know where he's going to go.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you know about Mitch though. I mean, I think Mitch can have he can have a mean streak in him. I think there's without a doubt he can have a mean streak. As a matter of fact, maybe it was his rookie year. Was it Marcus Morris, one of the Morris brothers, that was playing in Washington? I think maybe I don't remember. Maybe did he throw the ball at his back?
He got under his skin.
He did
got
something
one of their
with him.
skins. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Morris brothers, but he did something with somebody. You know, that was
it was one of the Morris twins. It was one of the Morris twins.
Okay. You know, so maybe he can be. I don't know if he does that this season, but when he matures a little bit more, I think maybe he can be that tough guy that the Knicks need. We definitely need one.
We need one. Julius, he always got the strong face on. You really don't know what he got going on in his head. But if Mitch could come out there and just be on some, he ain't even got to be a roughneck on the court. He just got to be somebody that's, like you said, Kenyon Martin, just overly athletic, overly exaggerated when he's dunking on somebody. Somebody go to talk to RJ. He step in there like, man, get up on my man's face, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just that type of dude. Just to set a tone, man, we to the moon. I promise you we to the moon. Yeah. But we need one of those guys.
Yeah, we need one bad. We need one bad.
Yeah.
That's all I want to call and say. Bench squad,
yeah.
I think we got some work with that. I think we got some work because we got a lot of young guys coming off the bench, so we need them to really establish themselves and have a consistent game with them for us to say, do we got another Mob Deep?
Okay.
Derrick Rose, we know we're going to give us, but everybody else, we like maybe. If they consistently by the middle of the season show, okay, we got a bench we know what we're getting off the bench every night, then yeah, we got a bench mob, a Mob Deep. But
all right.
I got to see consistently from Quickly. He's all over. He's up and down. Burks up and down. Obi, we don't know what he got yet, but his trajectory is looking good. Rose, we know what we got. And we don't know who's coming off the bench, whether it's Mitch, Noel, Sims. So once we get it fully established, then we're gonna say, oh yeah, we got him.
Yeah, then we know.
Right now,
yeah,
I can't call what
All
we
right.
got coming off the bench for sure.
Hey, my man, I appreciate your time. Appreciate your call. And
Everybody
be
take
easy,
care,
man.
stay healthy, man. Y'all stay good.
Alrighty,
Take care, man.
Stay healthy, man. He said Obi might be bringing cookies to practice.
He ain't lying about that. I see that with Obi.
Be bringing, Obi snacks.
You know what's funny, Sim, is I believe the toughest person on this team is Tibbs.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe, and he can't get
I mean,
on
his
the floor.
demeanor, the way he carries himself. I mean, very stoic.
Right.
Almost Greg Popovich-esque. I don't see that with a Knicks player yet.
But Tibbs can't get on the floor though. Tibbs can't.
It's true.
We need one on the floor.
Yeah.
Tibbs can't get on the
need one
floor.
on the floor.
Yeah.
And I agree with the call. If we had a player like that, it would elevate this team.
Mm-hmm.
It would elevate this team. Can you imagine if Mook Morris was on this team? Can you imagine? It's just another level.
You're gonna need an enforcer when you're playing against really good players like a LeBron or a Luka or something like that. You're gonna need somebody that's gonna need us to stop it or shut it down, and it's going to be interesting to see what player steps into that role. I mean, I think Taj Gibson is probably the toughest on the team. Fournier probably would be my second option because I think Fournier's got some dog in him. I mean, his parents were judo players, so I mean judo, whatever they did judo. So
yeah.
I think he's got some dog in him, man.
Okay.
He's so.
We'll see who steps up and does it, because we can't have people. If people are allowed to bully us, that could ruin a lot of what we want to do. If we're allowed to get bullied, it can ruin a lot. Let me get to this caller. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Hey, this is Ace of Kings. I'm calling from the Boogie Down Bronx.
Hey, what's going on? What's your name again?
Ace of Kings.
Ace of Kings. Oh, Ace of Kings. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Same thing, different day. Just excited about preseason for tomorrow. The look of the team, it's going to be ridiculous. The deep mob is back, man. Regardless of what anybody's saying, the up tempo in the second team off the bench is going to be ridiculous compared to just the regular stationary, slow moving Julius and whatnot. Even though he looks like he's going to be moving a lot faster this year. He's going to be really motivated, especially after the Hawks.
Right.
We shouldn't be talking about that.
And that bench, man, they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna be exciting. It's gonna be like, yo, we can't wait for the bench to get in because, quickly knocking down threes from the logo, Obi catching breaks, Derrick Rose, his explosiveness to the basket, all of those things are gonna be really, really exciting to watch.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. Trust me, like I tell Gmo when I'm on Legion of Knicks, as long as we've gotten rid of General Payton and Doo-Doo Dreads, Bullock, we're fine, man. The sky's the limit. We're no longer playing 5-on-4. I mean, other teams are no longer playing 5-on-4 because we have General Payton who can't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer a liability. We actually have people who can actually shoot now. We can move. We don't have stationary players like Bullock and General Payton.
Yeah,
right.
No, I agree with you. But they did. We were talking about that toughness. Those two players did bring a little bit of toughness to the team.
I don't know who's going to be really scared of somebody named Alfred.
I tell you what, Alfred Payton, if you remember a couple years back when it was Jay Crowder shot the three or whatever he shot after the buzzer or whatever, and Alfred Payton ran over.
Oh, yeah, he went up in his face. Yes, I remember that one. I remember it vividly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he was somewhat doing something at that time.
Yeah,
glad he's out.
No, I get it. Payton is not the answer at the point guard, but what we're saying is there was a bit of grittiness that he brought to the game and toughness that he brought to the game, and Reggie Bullock brought that same thing. You know what I mean? So
and Reggie, he was sketchy too, because you know what? He did a lot of bonehead fouls, especially when somebody's making a three. I kept on trying not to hit my TV because it was ridiculous. Like, are you serious? Come on, bro. And then he's looking around like he doesn't know. Like, I think the Dreads was thrown off his equilibrium or something because sometimes he was doing some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, he's not a starter. He's not a starter. He's a bench player.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
He's a bench player,
Like,
but
and everybody was talking about Obi. You know what I mean? I'm kind of sketchy with Obi. I really wanted him gone, to be honest with you,
mhm.
because he's so athletic, but he's so stiff at the same time. Like his shoulders is always up so high. Like he looks stiff. He is so not fluid.
Well,
I'm saying,
yeah. I mean, well,
you know what I'm talking about. When you see him run, tell me how he runs. He doesn't look stiff while he's running. Honestly, like he's so tense. He doesn't know how to just relax.
Yeah, he's not a fluid guy like a Kobe or someone who's gonna jump in the air and move the ball around and things like that. He is kind of a stiff player, but he's got springs. We'll see how good we seen the one move that was my play of the game versus Indiana. We'll see if he can continue to develop that kind of footwork, and if he can continue to develop that, he may never be that real flexible type of guy, but it's going to add to his game. You know what I mean? We'll see what he does. I'm hoping, because I get it. I understand everything that you're saying, but what I've seen from him since summer league and in the first preseason game, a lot of his points came on run outs and stuff like that. We'll see if he finds his niche in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I don't wish bad on him because you know what? He's a Knick. Regardless, I'm down with the Knicks. No problem. Die hard to the end. But at the same time, it's just, certain little things that you see. Like, his footwork is kind of sketchy. Like, I would love him to have the footwork like Taj. Taj is a beast to me.
Yeah.
Like, he's on the low, the best. Like, he's the best with his footwork.
Yeah. Taj has great footwork. But, of course, Taj is 37 years old, been in the league for a long time. But he's got great footwork, though.
Absolutely.
Great footwork, and that his footwork is one of the reasons that at 37 years old, he's still able to be productive.
And he's tough. And he's mentally tough, and he's just tough in general.
Yeah, he's tough.
Like, we could hope that Obi can even come somewhere near that. Because I heard of Kenyon Martin and all that. Listen, if Obi was even remotely near Kenyon Martin, I'll tell you that this bench is going to be ridiculous. Nobody's going to do anything to us.
No,
other than that, he's just so timid. He is a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
When somebody's real nice, man. The way how he carries himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't have no bad bone in his body.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Let's see if maybe he'll grow out of it. I don't know, or not grow out of being a nice guy, but just develop a little mean streak. But Ace of Kings, I appreciate your call, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Have a good
one, Sandal.
Peace.
Hey Sim, I got a question.
Yeah. But before Nate, you know what needs to happen? Somebody needs to go steal his bike. Go steal Obi's bike. You know what I mean? That's why Muhammad Ali became a boxer.
Like, what?
You know what I mean?
You talking about stealing my bike? I was like, what are you talking about?
Somebody go steal Obi's bike. That's why Muhammad Ali became a boxer.
You ever seen the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah.
He's that guy with the glasses that he gets. You gotta get mean. You gotta get angry. He's gonna have that moment, Sim. He's gonna have that moment.
We'll see.
Hopefully
he does.
Or somebody.
Hopefully he does.
Talking about toughness. Do you think RJ Barrett's tough?
I think he's a tough guy. I don't know if he's that mean street kind of. He's gonna be the protector of the team, but
yeah.
He's tough, and I think he's tough mentally. Over everything else, I think he's tough mentally. You know what I mean? He may not be the enforcer, but I think he's a tough guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Oh, I did want to ask, Steph, I'll start with you. Do you think this bench is going to be, and I think you're muted, Steph, do you think this bench is going to be one of the if not the top scoring bench in the league? Or I know they have a chance to be, but what do you think?
I think they will be. I don't know what we were last year, but I think it's going to be even better this year. And I really think our bench is what's going to. People talk about Kimba's addition and Fournier's addition, and I think that's going to help us. But that bench is what's going to put us over the top and make us a really, really good team. So yeah, I think we're going to be top 3.
Okay. Yeah, Nate, what do you think?
I mean, on paper, we should be. I mean, I don't know where our bench ranked last year, but we did add, you know, well, we didn't really add anything.
We didn't add anything to the bench.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head like that, but I mean, Jericho Sims might be in the bench early in the season, so maybe that's something. And then Obi and quickly, hopefully, takes 2 steps forwards now going forward in their maturation, so they should be better. It's just a matter of we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Mobb Deep is. I think Mobb Deep is back. No doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think Mobb Deep is back, and we're gonna have a fun bench to watch. I think they're gonna light up the scoreboard. I mean, like Steph said earlier, they scored 50 points on a night when they shot 51% from the field and 13% from 3.
Right.
They're gonna light up teams, I think, man. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Be on the lookout. Tomorrow I will be doing a pregame show. It'll be kind of early in the day because I'm actually going to tomorrow night's game, and the game starts at 7. So I'm trying to get there by at least 6. So I can beat the traffic and all that kind of stuff. Maybe get a chance to watch the players warm up on the court beforehand and shoot arounds and things like that. So I'm going to try to get there a little bit early. So the pregame show will be early. And I don't know, I guess we'll figure out how we can do a postgame show.
Yeah, we'll do a postgame.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Steph, any last words?
No, looking forward to seeing the Knicks again tomorrow, especially with Randle out, getting a chance to see Obi in an expanded role, Knox in an expanded role, and also just get a look at this new look Washington team as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I want to see what they look like too. Nate?
Yeah, same thing. I totally forgot Randall's going to be out. So yeah, great opportunity for Obi to step up and continue his hot streak of playing well. And I want to see more Miles McBride. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Miles McBride is going to get that much time on the floor right now because it's important to Tibbs, and I think he's made it pretty clear. It's important to him that he gets his rotation guys up and going. You know what I mean? But we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. I'm out of here. If I don't see you, have a great weekend. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. Out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the